In addition to single line text, AutoCAD has another text creation tool. In this lesson, we're going to look at multi-line text. Multi-line text is a perfect choice for annotations that require paragraph-style formatting. On my screen I have a detailed drawing of a manhole lid and frame. I'm going to drag this over such that I have some room to create a paragraph. Before I create this text, take a look at the layer control. Notice I'm practicing good form. I've created a layer for my notes. I'm also going to open the annotation panel to show you that I have created a text style as well, and I've set that style current. Since the note that I'm creating requires word wrap and paragraph formatting, I'm going to use the multi-line text tool. I can find that inside the text menu on the annotation panel. I can also access the command by clicking this large A. After I launch the command, you can see the current text height at my cursor. I'm going to click on screen and then I'll pull over and I'll click again to define the width of my column. Now I can start typing. This is an example of multi-line text. Notice I have word wrap now. Also notice additional formatting options in the ribbon. Take a look at the top of the screen. As soon as I launched the multi-line text tool, AutoCAD brought up the text editor tab in the ribbon. This gives me access to all of my text settings. Take a closer look at some of these icons. These are the same tools that you'll see in most word processing programs. Let's take a look at some of the settings. If I come down and click text style, I can select a different style for this text. If I just hover over a style, I can get a preview of what it's going to look like. I'm going to stick with my original for right now. Just for a second, I'm going to jump over here and select some of this text. Using this menu, I can change the text height by selecting an entry in the list or by typing in my own. Once again, I'll stick with the original setting. Using these icons, I can make the text bold or italicized. I can underline it, overline it. I can create strike-through text. Let me turn some of these off. If I open this menu, I can convert the text to uppercase or to lowercase. If I want, I can override the font that's assigned to the style that I'm currently using. I'm going to press the letter C to jump to that area in the list, and then I'll roll my mouse wheel down and I'm going to select City Blueprint for this example. If I wanted, I could force a color on this text. I'm going to come over and click and hold on this double arrow and pull this down and make my column height a little taller. Now I don't have enough text to fill this area. I'm doing this so I can show you the justification setting. This controls the location of our text inside the column. Currently it's top left justified. I can also make it top center or top right, middle left, center or right, bottom left, center or right. Let's leave this at the original setting. I'm going to come back over here and I'll select all of my text. Using these icons, I have more traditional justification settings. Here is center, right, full justification or full justification with distributed text. I'm going to put this back to the default setting. If you have any questions about the options you see in the text editor, press F1 right now and you can access AutoCAD's help feature and get more information. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and I'll pan the drawing over. Take a look at this ruler at the top of the editor. These large ticks represent tab stops. If I click to put my cursor in front of this text, I can press the tab key to jump to those stops. I'm going to backspace to take those out. If I click on the ruler, I can add my own custom tab stop. If I click and hold on a custom stop and drag it off the ruler, I can remove it. Let me backspace this out. If I click and hold on the diamond at the end, I can drag this back and forth and change the width of my column. If I click and hold on this arrow, at the top left, I can drag this over and change the first line indent. Using the arrow beneath it, I can change the paragraph indent. I'm going to drag both of these back over to the left. Probably the most powerful setting we have with multi-line text is this tool at the bottom. If I push this up, such that my column isn't tall enough to hold all of the text, AutoCAD will start a new column and my text will flow from one column to the other. If I click and hold on the double arrows, I can change the width between the columns. And as I push this up and down, I can control the height. When I'm finished formatting my text, I can come up and click the X to close the editor. Now that we have an idea of how the multi-line text tools work, let's try and use it in a practical example. I'm going to start by selecting this text and I'll press delete to remove it. Then I'll open the layer control and I'm going to turn on the layer called Text Hide. Let's see if we can use the tools to recreate this text object. The first thing I'm going to do is select the text and check its height. I'll do that by coming over to the Properties palette. Mine happens to be anchored to the interface. If yours is not, you can press Ctrl 1 to bring your palette up on screen. And I can see that it has a text height of 0.1. I'll press Escape when I'm finished. Let's pan this down a little bit. I'll launch the multi-line text tool. I'll click on screen and then I'll pull over to define my column width. I will then come over and set the text height and then I can start typing. Now that I am finished with the text, I'm going to make a few formatting changes. I'll start by clicking and dragging across this word and I'm going to underline it. Then I will drag across storm sewer. We'll make this bold and I'm going to make it uppercase. Finally, I'll click and hold on the diamond and I'll drag this out such that the width of my column matches the original. When I'm finished, I'll click on the screen to dismiss the editor. When it comes to creating paragraph style annotations, you can't beat the multi-line text tool. It makes creating notes as easy as using your favorite word processor.